Good morning, everyone. So, before we get started, yeah, it is. It takes a second. Before we get started, I have to go to the bathroom really quick, so I'll be right back. Just one moment. Thank you for being beautiful. It hit me. Drink and water. Okay. I was not prepared for this. 1 second. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I really do appreciate you all. All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I can feel the energy. It's buzzing. A lot of people are asking a lot of questions. Not necessarily you guys, just the collective. So see, we got Flash. Morning, Flash. Good morning, Becca. Good morning, Carmela. Good morning, Jessica. Whichever place you are, maybe you're in both. That's awesome. Thank you. Um, who else? Who else we got, y'all? Again, I'm just kind of giving a few minutes to let people roll on in. You know, sometimes it takes a minute. Might have to move myself down here just for a minute. All right. So before we get started, I do want to talk a little bit this morning about the full moon that's kind of with us. You know, the full moon kind of has a big impact on the purpose of this meditation today. The full moon approaching is in Scorpio, and so Scorpio is really about the depths. It's about really thinking about your choices and really reflecting upon how things are, you know. But also with this full moon is bringing out the shadow. You know, it's allowing us to turn around and look at, you know, where we've come from, what we've been through, you know, what are the things that we are still holding on to, you know, what thought patterns, what beliefs, what perceptions of reality are could be distorting your view. You know, light can be very, very bright, you know, and sometimes it can be so bright that it kind of blinds us from the truth. And that's where the darkness comes in, because I think a lot of people forget about the truth not always being easy, you know. And the topic of love and unconditional love has been coming up so much recently, and I've been sitting with it very deeply, because unconditional love is something that I want everyone to experience, but I can't make everyone experience that, right? Just like you can't make someone else experience your love. You can only show up, give your love, and know that they either see it or they don't. And that you can't control how they perceive what you're giving them, right? And that's kind of what I've been seeing with this full moon and the shadow, right? How are you handling the things that may be blocking the light from your view? Because what may be blocking the light from your view is you, your own shadow. How are you perceiving the world? How do you feel about the world? If someone says something to you and it isn't what you want to hear, how do you handle that? How do you handle someone who has an opposing view to you? That's really, really what it boils down to. Because think about this. As a Taurus sun, Scorpio sun is our opposing sign. And I have sat with that frequency because they have so much depth. If you've ever been around a Scorpio, you can tell because they just there's just something about that frequency. You can feel it. You know that they reflect. You know they sit with things, right? And this isn't just for those who are Scorpios, right? This is for the Scorpio energy in general, no matter where it's at in your chart. Maybe you don't have that specific sign in your chart, but you have a sign in your chart that reflects this type of energy. We all have it. We as a collective make up the body. We make up earth. We make up that consciousness. We as humans are the channel for consciousness to come through, right? So that's kind of the purpose and the drive behind this meditation, because I feel a lot of people don't want to look at their own shadow, right? Becca, Scorpio moon. Okay. That depth, that there's depth there, you know what I mean? And that's not just you. Like, think about Pisces and Gemini as well. Both of those are split signs, right? They have dual energy, really, which can lead to bipolar disorder because you're riding that wave all the time. So you have to find that center. You have to find that balance. Scorpio, they're so deep. It it's that same type of wave, and that's the beautiful thing about when you start looking at the universe and the universal song, and then you start understanding the signs and how you aren't just your sun sign, or you aren't just your sun and your moon sign. The three, your sun, your moon, and your ascending, are like the three signs that really kind of are what everyone else sees in you, but there's even more in there, right? If you look deeper within your chart, each planet has a specific alignment, and that alignment quite literally affects your frequency. Think about this. The moon changes its sign every 24 hours. What do you think that does to a human body? If the moon is powerful enough, if it has enough pull to shift the tides of the earth, what is it doing to the water in your body? This is why sitting with your shadow is important. Something I recognize, and I didn't really, I knew I was doing it, but I didn't know I was doing it until hindsight. Like, I reflected. I sat with the moon cycle within myself for 2 years. So I came off of testosterone, off of hormone replacement therapy a couple years ago, and I started sitting with my moon cycle, my own cycle with the moon. And then I started to see that I am different every day because the moon pulls you every day. So you have to find the center and the balance within yourself. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning, Nina. Right? Do you see how important it is to find that center within yourself? Because if the moon is changing you every 24 hours, what do you think Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, Mars, Mercury, what do you think all of those planets are doing? The sun's also moving. What do you think it is doing to you as well? And then take it a step further. Carmel and I came across some information that Proxima Centauri emitted a solar flare. Was it 8 times brighter than it was a massive solar flare that's about to hit us tomorrow, and I'm actually kind of already feeling it. I think that's probably why I'm feeling so fiery right now, on top of everything else. But just think about that. Like, we have other star systems emitting solar flares right now, not
13,000 times.
13,000 times, 14,000 times brighter. My brain can barely compute that. Right? So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys, because I've been sitting with this information for a while. I love you all. I love this community. And I know some people have kind of gotten pinged a little bit, maybe about something I've said, or, some situation that has occurred. And it's not just here, it's everywhere across the world. Like everywhere. Like we are wave patterns. So at some point we have to learn how to ride the wave and dive when we need to dive and rise when we need to rise. We have to find our own flow amongst this whole thing. And if we can learn to look at ourselves and stop looking at everything else outside of us, things would shift so fast because you can't change anything outside of you. You can only change what's within you. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of move into a little bit of water blessing. We're gonna do. I really love the EMT or EMF tapping. No, if I can speak today, the EMF tapping. And we're gonna do some chakra toning as well. So first, we're gonna bless our water. So I invite you to get some water, get some tea, get some coffee, get some juice, whatever. Uh, I guess calls to your heart. And thank you, John. Thank you I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. I've seen a few more people kind of popping in here. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Kelly. Hey, just hey. Good morning, everyone. Mm. I bless the water with good morning. So let's EFT. Oh, thank you. EFT tapping. It may be. My brain has like 1,200 thoughts on it, and so all I can do is focus on the inside of my energy. So yeah. Anyways, let's grab our water and let's give thanks. I'm going to raise it up to the sun because I'm outside right now, and just kind of allow the sun to infuse its light and its unconditional love and its movement and its ignition to life. It allowing us to perceive the darkness. Think about it. The seed that was planted in the darkness has risen to be the tree. But that tree is still darkness, is it not? Because it's material, it's matter. So the light allows us to see matter. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just gonna give a moment. Love my water. Bring my center my vibration a little bit more. I got fiery there for a minute. But I just want to show you guys it's okay to be fiery, right? It's okay to be there. It's okay to be abrasive. It's okay to speak the truth passionately. Don't hide that part of you. Allow that passion out, right? It's beautiful to see passion. It gives other people the fire to feel passion, to see that passion is not wrong. I think somewhere along the line, I guess this is me blessing my water with some new subconscious programming. But I feel that there's a common belief, and I've seen a lot about sensuality and sexuality starting to arise too, right? Is passion not associated with sensuality and sexuality and intimacy? And if we can learn how to be passionate within ourselves and and have that sensuality within ourselves and that sexuality within ourselves and have that deep intimacy within, like that just and I know I see it. It's arising now. Like everyone here is arising to that. You're really already there, right? You've already met that because you are that. You were born that. We just think it's separate from us, but it's not, right? All right. Thank you. Thank you, water, for hydrating me, and I say that every time I do water busting, but I'm a bit dehydrated today. So thank you for hydrating me. Thank you for always being present. We can find water if we really search, even within ourselves. Mm. All right. That in there. Mm. We are wild. Aren't we wild? We really are, Kelly. Okay. So now I'm going to start massaging. I'm going to do this. just to really kind of activate our whole body. Just give gratitude for this day, for this beautiful day. Even if maybe you're experiencing some rain or something, it's so beautiful, right? Thank you for being here, Nadine. I really love you. I've been sending you a lot of love. I know you've been traversing stuff. Sometimes, gotta be afar, but you still love them. Let's talk about that a little bit while we massage our bodies, right? Let's talk about love, and let's talk about how we each have a different perception of love, right? And ultimately, the number one distortion within our reality is love. How we love others and how we love ourselves. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, or the day before, I think actually, and I was telling him something my great grandmother used to do for me when I would stay with her. She would like massage my feet and like wash them. Like think about biblical stories, how Jesus used to wash the feet of not exactly who, but I know people that perceived themselves to be lower than Jesus, which Jesus never saw themselves that way, right? They saw themselves one with everyone. And that message has gotten lost somewhere, that we are all equal. That even those with millions and billions and trillions of dollars, they're no better than you and I. They just think they are because they know how to cheat the system and get, you know what I mean? Like there is a thing of oppression across the grid, and it's not just a certain type of, like, it's not a certain class of people. It's the whole. There's the whole of consciousness that has been oppressed, and a lot of it is the divine feminine. We've been in the masculine energy driving and forging forward for so long that we don't know how to slow down. We don't. We don't know how to be like, whoa, enough is enough. We still continue to fight and create resistance. If you read The Art of War, or you know anything about Lao Tzu, you know peace is the answer. Fighting creates resistance because you're only fighting the opposing energy to your belief. Whatever you believe and you try to fight against it, you're only fighting what gives you the right to think and believe the way that you do. Because the only way for a thought to exist is to have polarity. We have to understand duality exists everywhere. And the only way to unify that field is to observe the duality for what it is and not get involved in it, but create a new way of existing through the observation of duality. You transcend duality. And that's really how you balance yourself, by transcending duality, by walking in the center of where you are. You are your own yin and yang. That's the beauty in life. So I'm gonna go to tapping. Um, Carly, I don't know if she's with us today, but she really talked about starting at the top of the head and kind of moving down. I think she actually started with her hands, but I really like the idea of starting at the top and then moving down and then going up again, right? And I guess you could say starting with your hands would be activating the portals, then tapping your hand, your body. I could see that. That'd be pretty potent. We'll do that. We'll tap our hands a little bit today. Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you for being here. It's really been it's been a lot of fun. Like doing these meditations has given me my own consistency. It's shown me how to show up for myself, and then in doing that, I can show up in a more whole-centered space for everyone else as well. And then, you know, that only, showing up more for myself really only helps the whole, right? Because then I show up more for everyone else if I'm showing up for myself. So yeah, with the tapping, I always say follow your intuition, follow your heart. What does your heart say? What do you need that love? You're just activating those meridian lines, telling ourselves like, hey, I see you. Thank you. Our biggest organ on our body is our skin. I think a lot of people forget that our skin absorbs things. I'm excited for this meditation. Maybe you're experiencing some allergies, some sinuses. Tapping underneath here, you have sinuses that go up in here. They actually go around too. And, down into your jaw, if I'm not mistaken. I think you have sinuses in your jaw as well. So maybe you're experiencing some inflammation from your allergies. I always recommend getting local honey if you can. It really does help with your allergies. Something that has been really helping me personally, because I kind of got a little bit congested. I've been using diluted oregano oil, and it has really been keeping it's an antibacterial, anti-parasitic, antifungal, and I think it's got a few other properties as well. It's really like, if you're dealing with anything like that, I really recommend that. No more than 10 days, and make sure it's like, I think 20% diluted. Is that what you said? So is that how you meant it?
25 if you get
25.
Pure
Yeah.
oregano, but you
So
can buy it diluted at a health food store.
Yeah, so you can buy oregano oil diluted at a health food store, or if you are more of an herbalist or a witchy friend, and you would prefer to bulk make it, or be able to have it on hand, buy whole, or like food grade oregano oil, and then you can dilute it yourself. We used argan oil, food grade argan oil, to dilute it, and she diluted it 25%. And you can do the measure. You can find the measurements online for whatever like size bottle you're using. My face needed a little extra love. All right, I'm taking another sip of water. Like I said, I haven't been hydrating myself properly lately, and that's my shadow, right? Sometimes I forget to take care of my body because I can get in my mind a lot. It's my lower mind and my higher mind. It just kind of depends, we all fluctuate. So yeah, my shadow is neglecting my body. Like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I neglect my body, and that's my shadow. Our egos are oftentimes self-destructive. Ain't nobody perfect. Well, we're perfectly imperfect. Alrighty, those of you over here on Instagram, thank you for being here. I haven't forgot about you guys. All right. So let's bring our awareness into our heart center, to our heart space. And before we really dive deep here, right, I want us to remember that our darkness does not make us any less light. Our darkness, in fact, makes our light shine brighter. And so, releasing any fear that we may have around our shadow or around that part of ourselves, let's do that now. Let's invite ourselves into this space with our shadow, into our heart. It's already there, but let's allow it to show itself in its fullness, in its wholeness. Let's allow, I see it now. Let's allow ourselves to visualize our light body and our shadow body standing in the center of our heart-centered temple, holding hands, clearly separate, but also very clearly intertwined. Let's take a deep breath here. And now we're going to do some chakra toning as we have our shadow body and our light body present. We'll start with Om and say it 3 times. Om is associated with the crown chakra. You can see the color, I believe it's purple, violet, whatever color.
Perspective.
Yeah. Just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then we'll go with Om. Om. One more time. Om. And again, don't be afraid to adopt new practices. Remember, this is your own practice. Make it what you will. One more time. Om. Now to the sound A. And these are just vowels. So we're just going to say them and allow them to resonate within our body. A. One more time. Deep breath in. Moving on to E. Deep breath in. And again. E. And the last time. to the sound I. I. Last time. Now the sound O. And again. Last time. One more time. Last, the sound U. Again. One more time. Okay. Thank you all for being here again. See a sip of water if we move on. All right. Now, as we continue to hold that heart-centered space with both our shadow and our light present, let's allow ourselves to also be our light guardian activated selves. Just take a deep breath there. As we sit with these three aspects of ourselves before us, our shadow, our light, and then our higher activated selves. Now, as we sit in our temple, I invite you to allow the moon energy in. Allow it to swirl around you. Allow it to activate. Allow it to trigger within you the thoughts and the emotions. Allow yourself to feel all of your feelings. They are important, especially the ones like anger and hatred and resentment and jealousy. Without these emotions, can we perceive how to love differently? Now I invite you to just have a conversation. Allow yourself to observe all of these energies speaking to one another. As you observe their conversation, and now I invite you into the void. And I know some of you may not want to go there, but understand in the void is where your light shines brightest. And when you take this leap, you will see that you land right on your feet in front of the light guardian tree, the center of Mother Earth, growing and connecting with beautiful magnetic waves of light and darkness into one. Allow yourself to see that there is no fear in the darkness. Fear comes from within you. It is something you bring with you, but you can also release it. Just as the oceans has their waves and they crash against the shore, now in the center of your heart, inside. Do you feel the ocean move? Like the wind against your face? Is they are similar but different in space. Now let's allow ourselves to stand before this beautiful tree as we admire the grace that it takes to be that tree. Let's allow our ripples of love to radiate out from us and into the tree, and then from the tree into the collective. Like a heartbeat from the center of the earth. With every beat, that ripple of love moves through the earth into the feet of all that walk upon her, and out through the body, like the little antenna that we are, radiating that beacon of love and light to show that it's all okay. That without the wind, we would not know how strong our candle flame truly is. Without water, we would not know what dryness is. Without dryness, we would not know what wetness is. So life is full of paradoxes. But it's how you choose to see that continues to move the ocean between you and me. Now let's bring our awareness back to this now moment. Wiggling our toes and our fingers. How is everybody? How was that for you? Did you enjoy it? Mm. Some 1111s in the chat. Pull some spirit animal cards. We'll pull a few tarot cards just because there's a full moon coming up, and who doesn't like to know a little bit about the energy, right? The energy that's in you and me. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that for you all, Becca and Kristen. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you all for being here. See what spirit animals we got. It does. Actually reminds me of so I don't know if you're familiar with Aldebaran, the star system and the Taurus constellation, part of the Pleiades. Kind of what I see when I go to the void sometimes, and I think it's just because that distant light, but it's kind of purple and blue, and sparkles. It's kind of like when you said that. That's kind of what it made me think of. Yeah, then the tree became so clear. Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Really active. Ooh, I have not got that one before. That's massive. Water. Huh? Yeah. Prosperity. Yeah. Maybe I'll pull the moon. Who knows? It is. Okay. That's interesting. That card comes out with a frog because it's like you need to see your spiritual abundance. That's what I'm saying. Some people maybe so, and this is common. Beautiful. That's amazing. You visited the tree last night. So I'm actually doing a little bit of, I'm doing an experiment with my sleep right now. So 2 days ago, I slept without the internet on. So I turned my router off and I turned my whatever the hell else thing that goes with it. Yeah. I turned them off. And for the first time in months, I remembered my dream. Last night, I did not. I had it. I kept it on. I actually watched. I don't usually watch TV, but I watched a little bit of TV last night. And I left the internet on, and I didn't. I like. I couldn't even. I could. I couldn't like even upon waking with trying to remember my dream. Couldn't remember it. So tonight I'm going to experiment. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off and all of that, and I'm going to try and sleep with it off and see if that helps my dreams. So if you guys do not do that, I maybe invite you to do that. Try sleeping without, turn your TV off and turn your phone off. And these just really wanted to talk today. I haven't used them in a while. They're like, hey, message. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Look at those. Talk about shadows, right? All right. So I pulled the frog. Pulled the frog. For those of you on Instagram, I invite you to always come to YouTube. I pulled the Vision Quest card. And then the soul cards. I'm just going to show you them first. They have a lot to say right now, so I'm just going to I'm going to show you them, and then I'm going to sit with them for a second as they, ooh, is that a lightning bug? Did you see?
What?
That was you didn't see that bug?
No.
A little bug flew in on its back.
Oh, that was a bug. I thought it was a
Flipped
leaf.
over. No, flipped over, then hopped into the crack. That was wild. So that's there 5 cards came out for this soul deck. So I'm just gonna kind of show you the deck, show you the card. They're really beautiful. It's really beautiful artwork. And kind of like these soul cards really go along with our meditation. miss something? I didn't miss anything. I was reading y'all's comments, letting you get a good look at the. Look, that's when I saw the frog come out with Vision Quest. I was like, all right. And it's not like maybe you guys were in the meditation the other day with Brendan. I had a profound experience with him, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so grateful for that experience with him in the meditation where I received the golden egg. And it's kind of like I'm seeing spirit. Yeah, I'm seeing spirit asking, asking not only like us here, like all of us here, like whoever's tuning in, whenever you're tuning into this, right? It's like Mother Earth is asking us to go on that trip, to jump into the void, to take that leap, right? To take that leap on that vision quest and trust that you have the spiritual knowledge within yourself and trust yourself, trust your intuition. That is a huge message that has been coming up recently. Like, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had about trust, who you can trust, what you can trust. If you can't trust yourself, how can you trust anyone else? So if you aren't trusting your intuition, you aren't trusting your own guidance system, are you are you really trusting someone else? Or are you doing what you've just done because you know what I mean? You see where I'm going with that? So it's a maybe we are the frogs, right? I also see prosperity though. That's actually the first thing that Carmela said was prosperity, right? And then I saw spiritual abundance. I think like, and that's something that's been coming up, like not necessarily a common theme for me, but my guides for a good portion of my for a good portion of my awakening, they've been they've been showing me to see my spiritual abundance as abundance, because before you can manifest, you have to have the energy within yourself to manifest that frequency outside of yourself. Because frequency, think about the law of attraction, like that frequency must like attract each other. So it's like I'm seeing we do point to the light for others, you know what I mean? Like think about this. We have our own internal guidance system, right? We have our own intuition, we have our own heart, our own minds. And as we learn ourselves, we have the ability to turn around and shine our light in the darkness for those who are still finding their way to the light. I think I feel one of the most basic programmings that we have is to follow the light. If you think about darkness, it would follow the light, would it not? And light would follow the darkness because they must coexist with one another. Yeah, reminding people of the journey. That's also another good one. I like that as well. So like as we are on a journey, everyone else is on a journey. So as we all recognize our own journey, our own vision quest, our own soul, our own prosperity, our own inner cup, will our own egg recognize our light and our darkness, we'll see ourselves and we'll like bloom into this like look at this. Yeah, okay. So someone's looking at the sun, someone's looking inside themselves, right? Like the meditation earlier, we have both, we have everything inside of us. We can ask people for their perspective, for their opinion, but then we have to go inside and we have to sit with that information on our own. Like we are what fills our cup up. Once we fill our cup up and we come together as a community with full cups, then no one's drained. Isn't that beautiful? Like, think about it. In America, technically, we have 50 different states with 50 different governments, all ruled by one federal government. But each state has their own laws and their own regulations, and it is different in each state. But then there's the federal government. So you see how we are actually all one people divided by false borders, separated by our own consciousness, and then told you're all the same. You all have to abide by the federal government. And I know that that's a lofty topic, right? But when you sit with that, it's true. Mother Earth doesn't know borders. She understands boundaries. She understands like you can only do things for a certain way for a certain amount of time, and then they have to change, and then they change again, and then they change again, and then they change again. But humans are the ones that are afraid of changing. And that's hard. And I think that that's where love really comes into play, right? We love one another until someone disagrees with us, and then we, for whatever reason, can't continue loving them because they don't agree with us, right? I don't know if I'm not saying everyone experiences this, but I'm saying a lot of people do experience this. I've experienced this where, you know, I'm still the same person I've always been, but because I change how I identify, how I seek someone to perceive me, all of a sudden I can't be trusted. I'm deceiving. People think I'm deceiving because I'm trans. I don't know if people know that, but like there are a lot there in the collective. Before we can get on the same page about healthcare and vaccines and COVID and all of that, we have to get on the same page about everyone is equal. That it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, brown, green, gray, yellow, orange, purple, you're equal. It doesn't matter whether you're a cat, dog, a bird, a fish. We are all equal. Humans aren't better than any other animal on earth. We are equal with the other animals on earth. And just that's a raven. I thought I saw a raven flying. I was speaking a second ago and I saw a bird fly and I couldn't tell if it was a crow or a raven, but it's a raven. Ravens are extremely synchronistic. So look up that I invite you to look up that animal, the spirit animal. Just go to Google and go to raven spirit animal and just kind of do a little bit of research. But just think about that, right? Think about how people want us to agree on whether to get this or to get that, and yet we still can't agree that everyone deserves love, no matter whether they're a convicted criminal, they're a child molester, they're a rapist. It doesn't matter whether they got millions of dollars, whether they've stolen millions of dollars. It doesn't matter. None of that matters because they all deserve love. And the reason that they've hurt people and they've done those things is because they've hurt, and they hurt so much that they felt that it was the only right thing to do to hurt other people. That doesn't mean they don't deserve love. Once we can understand that that's what love is, that's what unconditional love is not enabling people, but showing them another way to exist and showing that even though you've done fucked up things, you still deserve love. We can't agree on anything else. And that's a hard pill to swallow. A very hard pill to swallow. And it does, like, I've been having a lot of conversation, and the reason I'm going a little bit further is I feel like this is important. I've been having a lot of conversations recently about VAXX. right? Maybe you too. Maybe you've been sitting with it. Maybe you've been thinking about it, right? And I've been asked, well, how do you know who to trust? It's how do you know who to trust? How do you know not to trust that entity? It's like I know to trust myself. I trust myself. I don't need to trust anyone outside of myself. If I trust myself, I know that I will attract to me those I can trust. And then you take that a step further and say, every now moment, you have no reason not to show up with unconditional love, because if you show up any other way, then you're bringing your past trauma into that now moment and projecting onto someone else something that they never did and they've never done. So now you're psychically attacking people. And psychic attack, I want to talk about this a little bit. Think about the intention of your thought. People feel your thoughts, whether you are aware of it or not. People feel it. That's what energy reading is. It's not just reading your aura, it's also reading what you're feeling, because your feelings are electromagnetic frequencies as well. So if you aren't heart centered and you are sitting in your sacral chakra or your solar plexus or your root chakra, or maybe you're in your pineal gland or you're in your crown chakra too much, that displays as well. That's a frequency. We feel that. That's why things take time. We can't just go from 3D jump straight to 5D, because people don't know how to feel. They don't know their emotions. I don't want to be around people that are going to be jealous of me and who I am and what I bring to the table. I don't want to be around people like that. Do you want to be around people like that? So think about the majority of the collective who are still jealous of other people, who still think that having money is wrong, or who still think that just because you've committed a crime and you've ended up in prison, you're wrong. No, the system has told someone that what they've experienced in life and how they've handled that is wrong. They're not wrong. They don't know anything else. I think Becca's leaving. See you, Becca. I love you. Yeah, I kept this going a little bit just because I started to channel some information, and I just really wanted to share that because I think it is important. It's part of shadows, right? It's really important to know that, like, when we talk about love, that is darkness, that is the emotion, that's what you can't see. Light is what you can see, love is what you feel. I'm going to say that again. Light is what you see, love is what you feel. Love is the darkness. Think about this. Are you truly loving? And I'm going to speak from experience. My mom used to do a lot of drugs. She was a drug addict. And then she ended up in jail one time. And I had to have a hard conversation. I was 15 years old, 15, talking to my grandmother and my great grandmother. And I told them, don't bail my mom out of jail. Don't do it. You're enabling her. She ended up in there because she was driving on a suspended license high on crack. So by you bailing her out, you are only enabling her. You're only telling her, oh, what you did is good. So do you see why that, like, there are consequences to actions, but we also have to teach people how to live differently and how to cope differently and how to understand their emotions differently. We can't just be like, what you did was wrong and then never talk about it again. People don't want to have difficult conversations. No, it's the difficult conversations that trigger you, that allow you to evolve and grow. And that, I think that is important. Like, I've seen a lot of people they want to create a community, or they want to be a part of a community, but then they don't want to be triggered. They want it to be easy, all love, all light, just work perfectly all the time. And, like, think back to what I just said. The moon shifts every 24 hours into a new sign. So if the moon is shifting into a new sign every 24 hours, we can't expect to be the same every day. We are literally waking up in a new day every day, in a new now moment. The energy is nowhere near the same as it was. We bring with us what we think to be true. And until we can let go of that programming, how can you be present now? Because the now presence is a gift. It's the gift of life. That's presence. And I just wanted to soak that in for a second. I feel that may be the vision quest we need to go on, you know? Thank you all for being here. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's 11:11 now. 11:11. Woo, woo. Yeah, no bad kids, just bad kids that do, just kids that do bad things. Thank you, Jessica. I'm hopping off. I'm wrapping it up now. So thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate you all being here, staying tuned in, listening. You know, let's talk just to kind of pull in a little bit of shadow. Right, my shadow. Part of my shadow is thinking that people don't want to hear what I have to say. And then when I trigger people because of what I've said, I have to work through that more. And I think that that's a beautiful process because I don't want to trigger people, but I have to accept that I will trigger people. And that's hard, right? So yeah, I have so much love for you all. Thank you for being here. I will see you on Monday, most likely, in our team meditation with Paradigm Shift Central. If you're not familiar, check out Mystic Spider-Man on Instagram or Paradigm Shift Central on Instagram. You can also find him in Patreon. And if you're interested in booking a session with me or working with me further one-on-one, you can check out my Beacons page in the description. Hit the like, subscribe button, all that stuff if you are interested in receiving notifications for when I do go live randomly. If you'd like to donate, I do have a donation button in the description below. And donations and booking sessions really just help me create more content because this is my mission. Like this is my purpose, and I'm here doing it. You know. Triggering is a way to help heal, and that's something I'm really integrating now, Kristen. So really, thank you for sharing that, you know, and thank you all for being here again. Until the next now, my friends, infinite love, infinite light, infinite balance, and infinite movement, my friends. Namaste. Let's see. I'm good. See you guys. Thank you for being here.